that big one come out.
There you go. Man, that's a big one you got there.
Yeah, that big one come out there.
Well, it's late in the day and the sun's getting low.
He got it.
Let him go. I sure had fun just watching him stretch my line.
There he is.
Made me a
Oh, there's two of them. I got two of them.
memory.
Holy cow, look at that.
Fishing
Look at
Jimmy
that.
Houston
What on
and
these
me.
suckers, Jim?
Hey, Jimmy, we going fishing, boy.
Oh, my,
Ain't we
look at that.
lucky
They're both good ones,
dog?
too. Bring your fish over here. Bragging about your big fish. There we go, girl.
I always like that, Jeremy. Hey.
Oh, there's one.
he nailed it instantly,
That
didn't
one
he?
hit it with authority.
I mean, he nailed it instantly. I'm talking about instantly.
Not very big, but he's
He
vicious.
got after it, though, didn't he?
He's vicious.
Yep, that's my buddy Stacy King back there in the back of the boat. We're fishing northern Missouri. I don't know what we're going to be fishing. I know that Stacy's going to be fishing a Jimmy Houston spinnerbait. Looks
That's
like
what I got on there
for
right
a
now.
while anyway, at least. I have a little RC2, little Ricky Clunn RC2 crankbaits, little small square bill, runs a couple feet deep, 2.5, maybe 3 foot. And we're going to see what happens. We might fish some jigs. We might fish plastic worms. I don't know. But it looks like we got a good day going. That's a good start. We haven't been very far, and we caught a couple little tiny ones. And then that one was a little bit larger.
There's another.
Oh, there's another one. I might be throwing a spinnerbait myself.
The
We don't have
Jimmy
time.
Houston spinnerbait's working.
We don't have time for those, Stacy.
Don't
We
have
don't have
time
time
for
for that
those, huh?
size. You better catch you a bigger one.
I'll take all of them that bite. I like bites.
I do too. Like
Ooh,
that.
That's like a good one.
Dancing it right on top of the water. Just-
Hey, that's a crankbait. You're
Ah,
supposed
that's
to
a
be,
crank- you're supposed
that's
to
not
crank
a top water. You're supposed to reel.
I'm reeling now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm reeling now. He's a pretty nice little fish, but he seemed twice that big hitting it up on top like that, didn't he?
I thought it was a big one.
Yeah, I did too. I got in a deal this spring, Stacy, fishing with my granddaughter,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw a fish move back in behind the grass line. There was like 3 or 4 foot of really, clear water behind the grass line. It was 6 or 8 feet. And we were fishing the edge of the grass line, and we'd catch one every now and then. It really wasn't doing much good. And I saw one move back there, and we was throwing a little American Original crankbait. And I threw it back there, and you didn't have much room to operate.
Look here. Oh, come on.
I saw it.
That's
I saw
a
it.
bluegill that big around.
Was it really? Yeah. And I threw that thing back there and just kind of danced it, on top of the water, almost almost like a topwater. And about a 6 or 7 pounder come up there and ate that thing.
Ooh.
And we started doing that, and those big fish, and they weren't spawning. It was after the spawn, but they were hanging around in between the grass and the bank.
I'll be darned.
And instead of being on the outside grass line like you'd expect them to be. And we caught some big ones after we figured that out. And you'd see them all bite, just like you'd throw a spinnerbait back there, and every now and then you'd get a bite, but you were getting it out of there too fast.
Yeah.
You got him? That's a pretty nice little fish.
No, there's 2 or 3 with him.
Really?
Yeah, look at him. They're still
I
swarming
need to
down
get
there.
my bait down there. I got one.
Yeah.
he come off. He come off. I think he's bigger than yours.
I don't think so. Couldn't have been.
He finally saw my bait. I was dancing around the area. He come over about 10 foot to get it. And then he come off. Just barely got a hold of the edge of it. Fish, they're pulling pretty good. I could put that deeper crankbait on. I went down to a deep smoothie.
Uh-huh.
That's a good fish.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Nice
it's a
one.
lot better fish. I thought about, well, he's barely hooked. I mean, barely hooked. I thought about throwing a jig, getting down there a little bit deeper and see if we catch some bigger fish. I put that deep smoothie on. That's that red ear color. That's my favorite color right there, red ear. It will catch them. That's a nice one there. That's the size we're looking for, that and larger or smaller. That's the size.
Oh, there's a good one.
Oh, he was behind. He hit right on top too, didn't he?
Yeah.
Not as big as you thought he was.
No, but when he
He's a
hit
nice
it, I
one.
thought he was a giant.
Yeah, he's a nice one.
I just barely turned that crank.
I know,
and
as soon as you
blasted
hit it. Yeah, as soon as it hit the water.
Grow up.
There he is, a little bitty one. He's not as little as I thought he was. He's not bad. I switched to a jig, just try to get down a little bit deeper. I put that deep smoothie on. And it caught a little bit larger fish. So I switched to a Lucky Strike Legends jig. Get that thing down a little bit deeper, and look what happened. Looky there, and that fish is a lot fatter than the fish we've been catching too, Stacy. That's a nice fish. He's got crawfish whiskers sticking out of his throat. What do you think we ought to fish with?
Yeah.
Here's what we ought to fish with. That's a Jimmy Houston football head Legends jig right there, and I've got a V&M Wild Thing crawl on it.
This portion of Jimmy Houston Outdoors has been brought to you by Mercury Marine. Go boldly. Jimmy Houston Outdoors, America's favorite fishing show, is brought to you by Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. By Mercury Marine, go boldly. By Soft Science, supreme comfort footwear for the angler. By Shell Rotella, the engine oil that works as hard as you do. And by Super Start Batteries, available exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Thought it was hung up.
What'd you find?
Bass.
Bass? Another bass. I don't know about you as a crappie fisherman. I'm not, when your wife sends you out for dinner, I'm not sure.
I know. She won't let me clean a bass.
What? I know. I can't let you clean a bass either, I'm afraid. Yeah. Sent you out to dinner, and here you go. Nice fish on that crankbait. Oh, yeah. Ooh, nice fish. We gave up on the girls' crappie. We abandoned them. Picked up a crankbait. Try to catch a bass.
Oh, that's a dandy.
That's a good bass right there. Oh, that's a good bass right there, yeah. Ooh, here now. You hold still. I'm going to get that thing out of your face. Yes, I am. Don't you flop. All right, you're caught now, baby. Boy, he was hooked too. You are hooked. Well, that's a nice fish right there. I'm telling you. Oh, he was down in the brush, that's for sure. Yep. He's got one over here in the side of his face, which I will extract. Another one right there in his jaw. Look at that fish. That's a nice one.
Long.
Long and lean. Woo, a long, lean fighting machine. Yeah, buddy, I better leave those pliers handy, so I'm going to throw that little smoothie. Smoothie.
Wait just a second, Jimmy.
You already told me.
Got it. Get myself back here and get snake bit or poison ivy one.
Or both. That's a fish.
There you go.
That's a fish. He's not too bad. Spinner plug fish. He's bigger than I thought he was.
Nice one.
Good fish. Good fish. Well, we're not catching many, Stacy, but we're catching some pretty nice ones. Look at that guy.
Little one.
Nothing wrong with that fish. Spinnerbait right on top of the water. We're in about 5 foot of water. We've been in 18 foot of water, 20 foot of water. Now we're in about 5 foot of water. I got a Jimmy Houston Legends spinnerbait on. These spinnerbaits, we put one size up larger blade. We put a one size up larger blade than what you normally get on a 3/8 ounce bait. One size up larger blade than what you normally get on a 1/2 ounce bait. And I think that creates bigger fish. It gives you a little bit more vibration, and I think you catch bigger fish. I forever have been changing blades out on spinnerbaits and doing that. So we decided, why not just build them that way? That way everybody can catch big fish.
There's one. Another one.
You just had to keep throwing, didn't you? Make her mad. That's the one they're trying to eat for bait. That wasn't the fish that hit you up there on that bank.
I don't think
that.
so. It didn't look like it. But did not look like it.
Oh boy, he was right there on that bank. He was close. Maybe we been. Golly. Yep, I got all I needed out of that one. I cranked that thing about 2 cranks and he got it.
Nailed it.
Maybe we need to be fishing tighter to the bank. You know, we were fishing out a little further with those roadrunners trying to catch a crappie.
Well, the bass I caught on that roadrunner, a good one, was right on the bank.
Yeah, well, that one right there, I just didn't gauge my reel, and he nailed it. It's about a 3-pounder. Oh, got him? Yeah, a little one. Right on that stump, wasn't he?
Stump fish.
Stump bass. Stump bass. He's a fat rascal.
Chunky little
You know, we haven't caught a lot, Stacy, but we've caught some nice ones.
Been some nice ones.
They've all been decent. Whether we catch them on a spinnerbait or a roadrunner or a spinnerbait or a crankbait, they've all been nice.
A little fat fella.
One of us throwing a crankbait, one throwing a spinnerbait, and one throwing a roadrunner. We ought to catch them on something, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. One throwing a spinnerbait, one throwing a crankbait, one throwing a roadrunner.
Who was throwing what?
Well, right now I'm throwing a crankbait,
I got
and
a
you're throwing a
spinnerbait on.
spinnerbait, and who's throwing the roadrunner? Because I know
Well,
we caught him on a roadrunner too.
I just laid
That's
my.
not crappie. I just let you catch him.
It's a nice one there.
Yeah, it is. It's a very nice one.
Boy, he was sluggish. I mean, he didn't.
I'm telling you that they're not fighting like normal. Don't seem like. It seemed like they're almost like they're a little lethargic.
bad.
Maybe it's too hot or something. I don't know. But they're not fighting like I think they should, and they're not biting like I think they should.
I'll take that.
This portion of Jimmy Houston Outdoors is brought to you by Jimmy Houston Extreme Energy. Jimmy's Look Back is brought to you by Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time.
It's hard to think about when my daughter Sherry was a teenager. Oh man, I don't even want to remember those years. But when she turned 20,
Good little
we had a
point right
great
there now.
fishing trip. And as usual, she gets really excited. Let's look back. Fishing with Sherry, 1984.
All right. Boy, he run out of there. Now, they're strong. You get a decent one on, isn't he something? He's not going to jump. Why isn't that something them fish been jumping? Oh no, he might.
Come on, jump.
Hang over here, sugar, and I'll get him for you. Come here, baby. That's a little nicer fish.
Yeah.
There you go.
You mean you're not going to take it off for me?
Huh?
You're not going to take it off for me?
Oh, get the little fishy things on my hand. Well, he run out there and down that dude, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's the whole thing about fishing spinnerbaits. Being able to see them jump up on top and get that like that. That's a nice fish, Shug.
Yeah.
Now, I'm waiting for you to get a hog go. You're supposed to be a hog fisherman with that old spinnerbait there. I can't think of all the big fish you've caught on that spinnerbait.
I'm ready to catch me about a 10-pounder.
Hey, but you know, let me tell you now, you got to wait to get as old as me to catch 10-pounders. I didn't catch any 10-pounders when I was your age. As a
Well,
matter
I'm
of
not
fact,
you. I'm not you.
As a matter of fact, I didn't even catch any 7-pounders when I was your age. That seemed like a long time ago when you caught that old hog, didn't it?
Really?
You may be as old as me, 25 or so, before you
Kind of
break
last
that
now or
record.
later.
There's a stump right there I can see under the water. Coming right over the top of it. You can see it too, huh? Whew. No, on all them stumps like you'd think they'd be. They're kind of just scattered. They do that when they spawn. They kind of just scatter out around in a pretty wide area. You don't usually catch a whole bunch of them in one spot or in a hole or anything like that. They usually just kind of scatter out, and you can catch them just all up and down the bank. Making babies. Parallel these logs now. Throw in there as close as you can to the bushes and parallel down the side of those logs. Okay, those are okay.
Jimmy's Look Back has been brought to you by Ranger Boats.
Oh, there he is. There's one right there on that point. They're in the good spots, but there's a lot of good spots that they're not in.
Yeah.
But when you catch one, he's in the right spot. Yeah, when you catch one, he's where he's supposed to be. Well, there wasn't nothing sluggish about that fish. He tried to take my pole away from me. Boy, they're nice. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, good fish.
That's one of them nice ones.
Now, they've all been pretty good fish.
Yeah. Oh, good golly, look at that. That's a nice fish.
Just as I pull into the ramp.
We're just getting ready to quit, and
Oh, my goodness.
I threw over there by an old stick.
Oh, that's the best one you got.
Come here, come here, come
I
here.
mean, I was pulling into the ramp. I'm pulling into the ramp.
I almost got you. Oh, yes, I did get you.
That's a good fish.
Think
That's
you
a
didn't
good
eat
fish.
That spinnerbait. Look.
Hey, hey. We never caught a stinking crappie. What kind of crappie fishermen are we
We're
anyway?
about pretty poor crappie
We are
fishermen,
pretty
is
poor
what we are.
crappie fishermen.
Now,
Even-
he bent my string.
Okay, well, I'll
Yeah.
take that. I'll take that.
What do you think about that?
Hey,
Good bass, huh?
you know how tired I was? I was
Yeah.
going to quit because we
Yeah.
got 2 hours
He
of
pulls
sleep
into
last
the
night.
bank. You don't want to quit now?
I ain't quitting. Put the
Okay.
fish back. Let's go back. Let's go catch another one. Let's crank his motor up and go back. Come on. There's another one right there. Get out of my trolling motor. Come here, you dog. Ah, another nice fish. Woo! That's a good one right there.
Oh, that's a pretty one. Oh, look at this. Man.
Oh, what
Now there's a strike I've been waiting for all
I just
day.
happened to be look. I saw it too,
Man.
man. I just happened to be
I
looking out of the
mean-
corner of my eyes. Oh my goodness.
I threw it in there by that old stump, and oh, come here.
They're by that wood.
I mean, he
They're
smashed.
by the wood. You know, it doesn't have to be a lot of wood either. Just a little bit of wood. That's it.
Oh, yeah, look
That's
at that
it.
fat outfit.
You know, we've turned a slow, hard day into a pretty special day here in the last
I'm
hour or
telling you.
so. Yeah, it's really
That's a pretty bass, I'm telling
fat
you.
little
These
rascal.
bass are healthy. They don't
There's
have any
another one.
marks on them.
Oh, this
there
one-
you go, one.
Yeah, he's
Man.
not near as big as yours. We're kind of getting to that magic time of the day. You know, this is magic.
You want me to let him go?
Yeah, I'll let him go. If God could make time stand still, now what a stupid statement. God can make time stand still.
I think
He
he
can make
could.
it back up.
If he wanted to.
If Jimmy could make time stand still, it'd stand still right now for about 2-3 hours. Right now. You know the real difference between me and God?
Well, yeah, what is it?
You can think of a few million things. God never thinks he's me.
That's a fact.
God never thinks he's me.
Oh, look here, boy.
Is it a good one?
Yes, it is.
I just saw
Boy, I
something
mean-
big. I just saw something
I
big
mean-
take off right here in front of me.
He hammered that and made a couple real hard pulls and then just kind of
I
quit.
got one. I saw a big one take off right here in front of us.
Did you?
Yeah, it's not this one I have on. This is, but you know, I saw a wake come out of there.
Boy, look at there what he did. He mangled me.
Good. I like
Hey,
that.
yours is a nice one, too.
Jimmy Houston Outdoors is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here. By High Seas, when the money's on the line. By Jackson Kayak, Advantage Fisherman. By Orion Coolers, never lose your cool. And by Lucky Strike, where preparation and opportunity collide. Houston's Helpful Hints is brought to you by Jimmy Houston High-Tech Performance Fishing Rods.
Just about everybody we talk to, about every radio show we've ever done, and every interview we've ever done, people always want the best fishing tip, the very best fishing tip. And the very best fishing tip I can think of, without a doubt, I almost ignored today, and that's go early, stay late. That's it. Go early, stay late. You never know when you're going to catch the fish. And I almost created a cardinal sin today. We were just pulling up to the bank to put the boat back on the trailer, and Stacy caught a nice 4-pound fish, and we've caught several fish since then. So you want to go early, stay late. The other thing about fishing, you know, we caught most of our fish today on a spinnerbait. We did catch a couple, 2 or 3 on a crankbait, and a couple, 2 or 3 on a roadrunner. But the key thing that it seemed like we caught more fish either right on the bank by some sort of little piece of wood or out of a big tree. And this lake we're fishing's got a lot of grass in it, a lot of grass, but the grass produced really no fish at all today. So once you figure that out, once you figure that if the fish are going to be on the wood, the key on wood. Move your, you know, don't just go from, you know, you see a piece of wood, go down the bank. You get to a spot, you know, crank that trolling motor up and go a lot faster. Don't make nearly as many throws, but get to the next piece of wood as fast as you can. The piece of wood laying right there. And watch for those little pieces of wood that, if that's what they're on, like today, watch for those little pieces of wood that you can just barely see, because that's pieces of wood that probably somebody else might not have hit today. And if there's a bass there, you might be the first one to bring a lure bite. But the big deal, keep chunking until you can't see the water.
Well, it's late in the day and the sun's getting low. Caught me a big one, but I let him go. I sure had fun just watching him stretch my line. I made me a lifetime memory out here fishing Jimmy Houston and me. Hey, Jimmy.